Hello everyone and welcome back. In the last video I did a unboxing of the Fluval 407 canister filter. I now have it set up, rigged up. The little box filter that was in the corner is now out. I've shifted a lot of things about: wave pumps, skimmer, filtration, heater, ATO, pretty much everything. We cut out the filter box first. We got these little silicone tabs, which there's still two on the back there. I'll probably scrape those off when I get a chance. Yeah, just two on the bottom and then there's four on this side. Just cut that through. Wasn't really too hard to cut through them. We just used a standard knife. And then we pulled that out. We emptied what was in it, which was all the biological media and the sponge. It was full of quite a lot of detritus. It wasn't really that of efficient filter. It kind of built detritus seemed to build up in that filter quite quickly, like very quickly. But this, it doesn't really matter if it does build up, because it's so easy to clean out. It's just two little trays, and you've got the sponges on the side, you just slide out, and then you've got all the trays which are all connected together, so you just pull them out. Any detritus that's in the bottom, you siphon out, or you empty out. It's pretty easy. So the pipework is, so we've got the outtake, which is, you can see it's coming out there just behind the skimmer, which is on this side now, and I had to rotate it that way because so there's a little bit of a gap behind for the heater. There's a little peppermint shrimp somewhere. Oh, there it is. So there's space for a heater and the outlet. And on this side we've got the frag rack, a little wave pump in the corner. We've got the ATO float valve. We've got the intake, which is at the bottom there. Another peppermint shrimp and another peppermint shrimp, the glass cleaner, and there's the temperature probe is also wedged somewhere behind there. I also, because I've got a little bit more room, I moved that back a little bit so the flow's a little bit more in the middle rather than the front. And you can see there is no more bare bottom tank on the bottom, there was no sand here before. I pushed it all there, and because the flow's changed, it's not blowing directly on the sand anymore. There's, it doesn't move it, which is much nicer. I hated it when it was all sloped up like this. It didn't look right. It wasn't even, and it was quite annoying me. And there was nothing I could really do about it because I didn't really have many other places to put the wave pumps because there was no space. But now I don't have that wave box. It gives me a lot more room to play around with the wave pumps, which I've done quite a lot of playing around with, and I'm pretty much set on what I've got. I think this is quite a good setup of the flow, what I got here. Didn't really take that long to do. Took about maybe an hour at the most, and then we did a 60% water change at the same time, maybe just over an hour to an hour and a half, which isn't too bad to do a complete filter swap, including all the media, taking that out, changing everything over, refilling it up with water. It didn't really take that long. So I'm glad I invested in this. It was £175, a little bit steep, but the tank is already in 72 hours. It's 100% cleaner. You can see the water. You might even notice it on the videos. It's a lot clearer in here. You might not notice it, but in the flesh, definitely, it's really clear in here. It's really clean. You can definitely see that there's a lot more turnover than there was before. Well, actually 3 times the amount more flow in here. So more, more water's going through the filter. And in the filter there is a big sponge all the way down, and it's kind of one side's kind of like a bumpy foam, so there's a lot of surface area on there. So I reckon I could get quite some weeks out of that sponge instead of having like 5 days. I had about 4 or 5 days with the little square thing on there, but now I've got a massive tray full of it. Should get at least, I'm gonna say, at least 3, maybe 4 weeks. If I can get a month out of a sponge, that would be brilliant. The fish, especially the wrasses, seem to be enjoying the new space. A bit confused by, a bit of empty space back here, but it does look good. You can now see behind the tank, which you couldn't before. A coral has fallen though. That is very annoying. I blame it on, where is it? There it is. Look at that snail moving everything all the time. That was puttied actually. I used putty and super glue, I think, to stick it onto that rock up there, and it's still fallen down to this thing. I hate snails, are so annoying. And this has fallen. Somehow it's fallen off the rack from a snail. So apart from 2 corals falling, tank looks absolutely amazing, and it's only been 72 hours. I mean, think what this tank's going to be in a month. I reckon it's going to be a big change for this tank. Corals should start, I mean, they already are starting to grow. Alkalinity is being consumed slowly, but it is getting consumed. I would open this filter up and show you everything inside, the layout of everything, and how I plan on how I have it all and that. I'm going to leave that to next video because this is just bedding in, and it's only been a few days, so there's still air kind of trapped in it, so I want to leave it another week, and then in the next video I will hopefully get a chance to show you inside the filter, how it works and all that, which will be, yeah, that should be for next week, and if I don't have any other plans. There is a couple problems, not problems, but, you know, small sacrifices I had to make. That is a sacrifice. For me, that's quite a big one, actually. I want to fix this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but because of the pipe work, it bends over. It's quite thick tubing. That's the size of the tubing. It's about, you know, the size of my thumb. It's about a little bit more than that. A little bit more. So, you know, it bends over, and then it's got this little plastic, so it kind of, you know, a plastic cover to bend it over properly. Same with this side as well. So there's a little bit of a gap. Bit annoying. I think the way I'm gonna have to fix it is just, I might see if I can cut here and here, take this little metal bar out. Yeah, there'll be a bit of a gap, but I'd rather that than it be a little bit elevated. And it doesn't, like, I don't know, it's just a bit weird. I'd rather not have that. I'll try and sort that out in the next couple of weeks. And another sacrifice, down there you can see the back wall, because when we painted the back of the tank, we didn't paint all the way to the back because we knew the filter box was in this corner, so you wouldn't see that. So it's like, you know, it doesn't matter, does it? So, but now it does matter. Now I've taken it out. So I mean, it's not an emergency. It's not like that, you know, it's a massive patch. I mean, it's a tiny little square in the corner of the tank. It's hardly even noticeable. So I'll probably get that sorted out over the next few weeks. Probably paint it. So yeah, just those two things. The only very small problems, but you know, I can fix them. I can just repaint that and do a little bit of a modification with the lid. And I have a bit of news with, see all this hair algae? There's a little bit of a, look down here, covered in it, all down here, a little bit on the edge, kind of sprucing up here and there. I mean, it's always been in the tank quite a lot up here in this corner. A bit up there as well. I don't really mind this pink stuff, which a lot of people got a lot of comments on this stuff. Yeah, that's definitely what that was. I did look up pictures of it, and that's exactly what it looks like. So I don't really mind that too much, because it is quite a nice colour actually. I quite like it. It's a nice reddy pink kind of colour. I quite like it actually. I don't really mind that. But what I do mind is all this hair stuff everywhere. So what I've got here is some RX. This is to remove any types of hair, turf, any macroalgae, any kind of hairy, you can see on the picture there, that kind of algae, hairy, that kind of algae, which I do have quite a lot in here. Well, not a ton, but I'd rather not have it. So my dad's got quite a bit of this in his tank as well, so he's going to be dosing this as well. I've already started the dose. I started it yesterday. Yes, Sunday I started the dose, so it should take, well, it says it takes a week to 10 days, week to 2 weeks to, you know, have an effect. The only thing, I have to have my skimmer off. You can see it's, you know, the light's not on, so the skimmer is off only for the next 3 days. But my nutrients and phosphates are quite low. I mean, they're not low, but you know, I can afford to have my skimmer off for a few days. It'll be all right. So I'm interested to see how this works out. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm almost certain this will work. A little bit pricey, £18, but you either pay £18 or you know, it's pretty much my only option. I've tried everything, you know, snails, manually, like physically removing it out of the tank. It still ends up coming back. So this is kind of my last shot of trying to get this hair algae out of the tank for good. So I think I'll leave it here for this little update on. So I've got the filter. I've changed pretty much a lot of stuff, so it's quite a large update. For next week, I'm going to show you the effect that's had on my hair algae. We should see a bit of a difference. And we're going to take a look inside that, see what it's collected in a week, which will probably be about nothing. But I do want to show you how it works, or where all the sponges are laid out, or, you know, where all my media's gone. I just want to show you all how you open it and everything. So I'll do that for next week's update. So thank you guys all for watching, and yeah, I will see you in a week's time. Bye.